So today we are going to be talking about Chaos Zero Nightmare once more because they definitely showed some new informations with the first live showcase they just did today, and they also opened up the pre-register sites and some new additional information within those page, so we'll go over that as well and possible release date information at the end of the video as well. So anyways, let's jump into video and talk about Chaos Zero Nightmare. First thing they started up with the live showcase is showcasing some short animation intro, most likely what you are going to be seeing in the beginning part of the game. You get to see your characters doing cool stuff fighting against these horrific monsters. Then we moved on to the next area, which seems like a captain's bridge level, greeted by our vice captain Reona, and she's going to be giving us rundown of what is happening to us in this world and what kind of situation we're in. Seems like many planet has been infected by this virus named Chaos, and we have to save the planet by destroying the core of this virus, which names, I guess, Chaos. And many human civilization has been basically fell down and also infected by the Chaos virus and turned into monsters and stuff. So we have to send our agents through the ships to their planets and trying to fight against these monsters and try to save the planet. So seems like typical urban fantasy setting. I dig it. I like this genre, and it's nice to see another game that seems to be touching those elements. Even though they showed a lot of story elements throughout this video and character design and such, but I think everyone's main focus in here is definitely the gameplay aspects. So let's go over the combat system within Chaos Zero Nightmare. Chaos Zero Nightmare's main content seems to be this two main gameplay mode, and first one is going to be the main story. It's going to be having combat missions and some other story stages with some story elements. I'm assuming you are going to be entering the stage, you're going to be fighting these enemies, and you are able to clear within a certain turn. You are able to get all the starts and get some reward that you can probably roll the gacha with as well as some XP materials and such. So a very usual thing you can expect from these types of gacha games. What sets Chaos Zero Nightmare apart from your other usual turn-based gacha game is its unique combat system that is going to be heavily inspired by the Slay the Spire, and it looks like a lot of fun. If you ever play the Slay the Spire, this card style gameplay is just honestly really easy to start up with and hard to master, but so addicting and so rewarding. So I'm really excited to see what kind of freedom they are going to be giving, and they already seems to be showcasing some nice additional, like you're able to buff your cards with the 1 cost and follow with the 2 cost cards that's going to be giving massive damage to your enemies to clear the stage and such. So there seems to be having many different combinations already, because the Slay the Spire you control the 1 character, where in Chaos Zero Nightmare you're controlling 3 different characters at the same time. So honestly, I think the possibility might be more than Slay the Spire, and I'll be really surprised, and it might be really fun. Next one is a Chaos Missions, and this seems to be the main content of the game. You are going to be going through this different planet consumed by Chaos, and you are going to be getting rewards each time you clear the stage. So this seems like very typical roguelike gameplay modes that you can see from many other games out there, but I'm really excited to see how they're gonna make this one replayable with the many different options that's available. I'm pretty hopeful since they're pretty good at copying games, so I'm not really worried in that sense. They did say it's going to be taking up to 5 to 15 minutes per run, so I'm assuming that is kind of basing starting up areas. In the future, when they introduce much more challenging content, I'm pretty sure gameplay length will be increased, but I guess for the starters, you are going to be having that types of gameplay hours when you're playing the stages. But I would like to have some longer stages. I think that's what makes a roguelike mode fun. So hopefully that will be the case here. But yeah, as you can see, you are going to be going through different encounters here with your characters, showing fancy animations to fight through these monsters, doing flashy skill animation attacks. And they say you are going to be starting with the basic cards and such, but as you continue fighting against this monster and progress, you are going to be seeing the true potential for your character. So they definitely have the roguelike elements nailed down really well. They're going to be having many different upgrade systems for your character with the different build possibilities. So they are going to be giving you some freedom in that sense. So I'm really excited to see how much different build options they're going to be giving for individual characters. I think possibilities seems to be pretty big. So hopefully they can come up with a pretty good length of the content. And they also have this thing called the save data system, and it seems like whatever you gain through those chaos missions, you are able to be save those data onto the characters, and you can use those upgraded characters to fight against this more challenging resource farming stages. As you can see, this stages is something you have to do to collect potential upgrade material. So I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of replayability trying to get the perfect build for these characters so you can have an easier time farming these stages, but probably doesn't require that much of a perfect build to fight against these enemies. But we'll see how things will turn out, since it seems to be built into the core part of the game to build your character this way. But I think there's going to be a lot of build diversity, as you can see in the screen. They have just so much different effect going on, and a lot of freedom is going to be given to the players to choose what they want to do when it comes to combat system. Another key element that sets Chaos Hero Nightmare apart from the other games is the mental breakdown system. It's the stress meter system that's probably a little bit similar to Darkest Dungeon, but probably not crazy as that. But basically, each time you get hit, or other elements most likely as well, your characters are going to be building up the stress meter, then they are going to be going through this mental breakdown mode. And depending on which characters and persona traumas, they suffer different types of mental breakdowns, and the character in the states of mental breakdown suffers penalties when using their cards. That said, there are ways to embrace this mental breakdown and turn into even greater returns, and I guess it's kind of built into the core gameplay part. This is the part where a character kind of overcomes the mental breakdown and able to give a strong ultimate skill attack against your opponents. So that seems pretty interesting. I'm not sure how easy it is to kind of take care of your character's stress level, but we'll find out when we actually get to play the game. They have the other progression system. As you can see, they are going to be having XP cards and other resources to level up your character to increase their stats such as attack, defense, and health. They're also going to be having a dupe mechanics, as you can see here, and as you get a dupe for your characters, which seems like a character charge system, you are able to transcend your character's card to give more benefits. Halberd Smash is what we saw earlier for this character, which was a 2-cost card, and it seems like it's going to be increasing its damage and shield amount by 50%, so it seems to be like a big value. So we'll see how much it will play part in terms of difficulty of the game. But I guess if you go for full dupe, it's definitely going to be giving you a much easier experience. They also have a potential page for the character, so you are going to be farming in-game resources to kind of upgrade your character even further. So they seems like have a lot of your usual gacha game material put into this game as well to make your character stronger, to fight the tougher enemies and have easier time against them. Then they move on and talk more about the overall story elements within the game. It's usual stuff you can expect from this genre, nothing too special, but I like them. And then they also go and talk about the battlefield design, which is what really stunned me. I think honestly these map designs or the battlefields are looking really stunning, and they seem to be proud of it, and I can see why. I think there's a lot of dynamic between different types of battle stages, and since you're going to be going through a lot of repeatable kind of combat contents, so having different variety of battlefield is going to be definitely giving you a much more fresher experience. And hopefully as the game go through different content schedules, they are going to be introducing more unique maps that you can go through, and I think that will be really fun. So far every battle stage seems to be really nice and seems like a massive upgrade compared to Epic 7, so I'm really glad to see all this design choices they made when creating these maps, and can't wait to see what else they can come up in the future. Next they go and talk more about the character design within the game, and it seems like many characters are likable. I like what I'm seeing so far. This character looks pretty cute as well as a cool skill effect, so I'm quite excited to roll gacha within this game. And they're also showcasing one of the male character from their previous game, which is Kylon. So if you play Epic 7, he's a very familiar character, and he seems to be back here with some powerful attack that seems to be doing boy damage. So we get to see what types of story connection we might have with Epic 7. I think Chaos Element already is a huge connection to Epic 7. It's one of those gates that whatever happens within the gate has an infinite amount of possibility. So it's the usual stuff that you can expect from this type of genre. So we'll see what kind of other Epic 7 character will come over down the road. I'm pretty sure they're going to have their own collaborations and such, so we'll find out. Last thing they talked about is a seasonal content for the Chaos Hero Nightmare, which is going to be introducing new cards as well as new characters and new bosses. as well. So I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like Limbus Company. If I have to compare it with any other similar roguelike games out there, I think that is what they're kind of seems to be leaning into. We don't know how long each season is going to be since they didn't talk about it within this live stream, but if the season content cycle is fast enough, I think it should be a lot of fun and probably like upgrade version of a Limbus Company in terms of content cycle. So we'll see. They also announced they are going to be having pre-register sites, and they are going to be giving some 4-star as a reward when the pre-register hits the milestone, which most likely going to be hitting. I mean, that's pretty normal. There's also going to be having some different community events and such. And they showed a surprising collaboration at the end, which is the Chaos Hero Nightmare is going to be collaborating with the Hololive Eant to release original soundtrack. So it seems like quite exciting to see these two talents coming into the game to give you a cool soundtrack most likely. So that wraps up about the content for the live stream. They also have some more additional information. You can check it on their pre-registration website. So go on if you want to learn a bit more about the game itself. There's no information on release date yet, but seems like App Store has shown the release date of October 15 at the moment, and App Store release date schedules are usually very reliable source. Another reason why I think October release is pretty much confirmed is that they are also going to be attending Tokyo Game Show, which is going to be happening at the end of the September, and Smilegate is going to be opening up the booth for the Chaos Hero Nightmare there as well. They say this is the first time they're attending in 7 years or such, so there's definitely a reason they're going after it. They really want to showcase this game to a lot of audience as well as a Japanese audience. I think that's another reason why they are trying to have collaborations with the Hololive Eant to give more exposures to global media as well as some Japanese fans out there. So I'm pretty excited to see the game release in October. Seems like there's a lot of signs already that seems to be confirming that release date. So either way, only about 3 months left, and you just gotta go hibernate for the next 3 months, and when you wake up you should be able to play this game. But that's it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys next time with more video.